Hey, how you guys doing today? Again, it's been a long time. I'm Arnie Burrell, a Compton Cop. Today, I have with me an old OG partner of mine, Gene Smith. And Gene Smith has a YouTube channel as well, Hanging with Uncle, which is awesome. The guy talks about, everything in today's world, last and a few years ago, and the guy just has a great show. Gene and I, we worked together back in like 1988 to about 89. We have some great stories, some funny stories. We'll tell you. It was crazy, wasn't it, Gene? Back then in
Man,
88, 89. When cocaine
there are
started hitting the street.
some of the craziest things I've encountered in Compton, man. It was a very special time for me. I will say that, not all in a bad way, because as many knuckleheads as we would round up, but people have to realize is that Compton is a residential city. And there
Yeah,
were hardworking people that got up and went to work every day because they had mortgages to pay. So, let's keep it in perspective. All the like we said, the knuckleheads got all the glory and notoriety, but they did not make up 100% of the city.
yeah, and you're right. What was it? 3 to 6% of the knuckleheads. You know, and it wasn't. Like you said, there was good people. Remember all the people on Poinsettia? How
Yeah.
beautiful those lawns were and
Yep.
manicured.
Yeah.
Just crazy, man. Those were,
They,
that was Compton, beautiful
they took
Compton.
pride in their community.
Yeah. And I don't know if you know this, Gene, but my dad, uh, he worked at Rogers Barbershop at Bullis in Compton. You
Okay.
know, he cut hair back in the middle 60s all the way to about the middle 70s. So he saw that place grow. And the guys that used to come in and get their haircuts, Skiles,
Yeah.
what's it now? Puppet, uh, I, his name, the
Danny.
Mexican dude, huh?
Danny.
Jaime Real, and
Yeah.
Danny Correa, you
Yep.
know. Um, and who else, man? A few other guys used to go in there and get their haircut. Barclay, Dobbins, geez, man, almost everybody in detectives at that time.
Yep.
So my dad knew those guys, and then my dad ended up being a reserve officer there, you know. And the kicker is, he couldn't become a a regular there because he beat the shit out of his his sister's husband, for domestic violence. So that was on his record. But he became a
Yeah.
reserve, and he did well. He had a good time, you know. And
Well, so my introduction to Compton really went way back, because my uncle owned Jerry's Liquor there on Rosecrans and Alameda.
no, I didn't know that, dude.
Yeah, and when I got out of the Air Force, I worked there for a while. So that was like one of my first jobs when I got out of the
Yeah.
Air Force, man, working at Jerry's Liquor.
Oh, damn. Oh my gosh. Oh,
Yeah, and Western Knuckleheads, man, Mulberry Street, that was a circus every day of the week.
hell yeah, it was. Oh my gosh. You know, uh, God, I did not know that, man. Yeah,
Yep.
Red's Liquor. That was on the.
So I bought my black baseball cap, with the Compton, logo across the front of it, like NWA. I
Oh
bought my
yeah.
Compton hat back there at Jerry's Liquor back in the 80s, and I still have it, man. It's in really, really good condition.
Wow. Red's Liquor. Oh my gosh. Yeah, we. But what was one of your funniest stories there, man, in Compton? And who were you riding with at the time, man?
So my partner The cool dog, man. He was my partner. We rode together every day for over 3 years, just about, And
Oh
we're
wow.
working graveyard shift, and we get this call of domestic disturbance, right? So,
Yeah. Because at that time you just couldn't hook him up, man, because he said, I mean, she said, he said,
oh man, this story gets crazy. It was I was biting my cheek so hard not to laugh at this, man. So we walk up to the front door, waiting to hear the yelling and screaming, and it was quiet. It
Yeah,
was peaceful, right? And we
right.
knock on the door, and this lady, probably in her 70s, wearing a teddy, opens the front door.
Oh, gee. You saw some
I'm
crazy
like,
shit, man.
man, I'm like, and I'm assuming husband is laying on the sofa. He's got a blanket over him. He's watching TV, and I'm like, I am so sorry, man. We got a call. There was a disturbance here. We didn't mean to
Uh-huh.
bother you, right? And she's
Right.
like, no, I called you. I'm
Hmm?
like, oh, well, what's the problem? She goes, that dude over there, he's just laying on the sofa, won't do nothing. He won't even fuck.
No.
Man, just as calm, the dude raises the blanket off of him and says, officer, I just had surgery yesterday. And he shows us he's got this colostomy bag laying on top of
Oh
him. And this
no.
lady won't leave him alone.
Oh jeez. That's crazy, man. You look at the stupidest calls we get.
I know, right?
Oh man. You would just shake your head sometimes going, I can't believe, I mean, I really wish we had cell phones back then that could record, you know?
Oh, man, that would have been
And,
perfect if we had body cams.
yeah. And we just, all the stuff we got to rely on our memory, and just stupid. When I first came on, Dougie was my TO. And
Yeah.
by the book Dougie, that's what they used to call him, right?
Dougie and I got hired the same day.
Did you really?
It was
Wow.
me, Dougie, Howie, and Mitch Lambert all got hired the same day.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Mitch went to LAPD.
Yeah.
Howie went to Santa Maria. Is that it?
He wound up in Santa Maria. He bounced over to Downey, and then he went to Santa Maria after that.
That's right. Yeah, we had that max exodus, and people leaving everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was just crazy. But gosh, man, I remember we went to I was coming off of training. We were on graveyard, and we went to this nutty house about 400 block of North or South Bradfield, I think it was. No, Bradfield and Rosecrans. So it had to be like 600 block of North Bradfield. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Crazy house, man. And I didn't know this. So Dougie starts calling. No, we get the call again, family, feud or whatever. So Dougie knows the address already. So, he says, okay, man, I'm gonna let you handle it, partner. You got it, man. I said, okay, I'll take care of it. So I didn't know that this house was full of crazies, man. I said, you got it. So I go up to the door, and I'm, hey man, Mr. Clean, and I'm gonna take care of this. And all of a sudden I see Archie and Rock Hudson, man. They show up. I go, what the hell are they doing here? And then I look back, and then I see Valentine show up, and and then a few other guys, Pablo, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? And Carl shows up, and I'm like, what the hell's going on? I'm knocking on the day comes out. You better get these motherfuckers out of here. Shit. They just, they just stupid and shit. I'm going, okay, man, come on out here and talk. No, you're going to come in here and you're going to talk to me. I said, well, we'll come in the foyer here. What's happening? And her family in the background are just laughing at her. And I'm going, what the hell? And she's drunk. You got to take her to jail. I said, well, she's drunk in her own house, And she says, I know I'm drunk. I know I'm drunk. And she looks at me. She goes, ain't I fine? I'm fine. Huh? You want to fuck me, don't you? I go, ma'am, no. She goes, no, you don't think I'm fine? I go, no, I don't want to fuck you. So she says, oh, you guys, she goes off on me, she just, and I'm trying to bounce her shit off of me, and Dougie's in the back and he's tugging on me going, hey man, what are you gonna do, partner? What are you gonna do? You got a gunshot victim, 1,000 West Alondra. Come on, man, what are you gonna do? Make up your mind. What are you gonna do? So I'm like, oh my God, did we get a gunshot victim? No, he's screwing with me just to make a decision.
Yeah.
And I'm looking around, I'm sweating, and all of a sudden I look behind me, and all these guys, they're laughing at me, and Dougie starts laughing. He goes, this is the craziest house in Compton, man, and you need to remember that. And I'm busting. I was just upset. Everybody's busting up there, But she's going off on me. She's telling me, oh, you want to do me, don't you? You just love me. Ain't I fine? I go, oh my gosh. And then the other clowns start coming out. You need to arrest her. She's drunk all the time. And we got in our hoopty, man. We took off.
Gotta go.
Gotta go, man. 10-8, we're out of here, man.
Is Louis still open?
Just unbelievable, man. But those were good times. We had, some good calls. We'd go on and have some fun with other guys and other coppers. But yeah. I think the funnest times was when being on swing shift with you guys. It was nice to see.
That was a lot of fun. I remember a crazy story on swing shift. I was riding with Bruce Freilich.
Oh yeah,
he was still a rookie at the time, right?
I used to call him Brucey Stein.
Yeah. So we get a call to go to this house, man, where the dogs are barking and they haven't seen the neighbor in a week. So we pull up to the front of the house, and I can smell the dead body before just stepping out of the car.
Oh no!
Yeah. So I reached in my pocket and I gave Freilich, I don't know, $5-10. I forget what it was, and I said, "Go to the liquor store and get us two of the fattest, nastiest cigars you can find." And he had no clue why. And I'm calling dispatch for a field supervisor because we're going to have to snatch the bars off this guy's house to go in it so the coroner can come pick him up. I already know this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So long story short, right? Freilich comes back with the cigars. We get a field supervisor there. The tow truck comes in. We go in the house, sure as shit. Guy's laying flat on his back, bloated. It was nasty, right?
Oh, was he splitting already like a big sausage?
Yeah, the skin was splitting. God. Yeah. Skiles also had a rookie with him that night. Remember Kunavong?
Oh yeah, Alphabet. We used to call him Alphabet because he had every letter in his last name.
He thought, man, this is a great training idea for both these rookies to handle a DB. Right. So I'm like, okay, wonderful. I love it, Al. I stay outside. Ha ha ha. The rookie's got to go in and smell the dead body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, of course, the joke came back on me because after the coroner brought the body out, Bruce gets in the car and he smells totally like this guy. I'm riding back with him. I've got to go home, change my uniform.
Man.
It smelled like dead body the entire way back to the station.
It's the most nastiest smell you will ever encounter in your life, isn't it?
Yeah.
us humans, when you're dead for a week, it's the most disgusting smell. You'll never forget it, right? You know,
Yeah.
just
It made me realize also why I wanted to make sure I don't die alone, because I don't want to wind up like that guy. And I remember his name, but I'm gonna, let him rest in peace and not say it over there.
Oh man, I know. You know, um, yeah, dead bodies where people commit suicide, uh,
Yeah,
people dying in their sleep, and like you said, nobody's found them for years. I mean, not years, days.
yeah.
Later, and just unbelievable.
Do you
And
remember
get
your first
back to
homicide?
what's that?
Do you remember your first homicide?
Oh my God, yeah, man. That was my first night. I mean, well, wasn't exactly a homicide, but it was a traffic, two-car collision, man, at Rosecrans and Alameda. Two people died.
Okay,
Another girl was crushed underneath a car, and
man.
I couldn't believe it, man. I told myself, what the fuck am I doing here? You know,
Yep.
my first day, just ridiculous, How about yours?
My first homicide, we got it was a domestic violence. Um, this girl shot her boyfriend's head half off.
Oh crap!
It looked like somebody threw lasagna on the walls, and he's laying there, and their bubbles are coming out the half of his head that's still attached to his head.
Oh, God. We laugh about it, but that was our guard, right?
Yeah, yeah.
You just because you didn't take it home, you may okay because be honest, right, Gino? How many homicides do we have in a week sometimes?
Oh
You
my
know,
God. I mean,
you
dude,
know,
we average
and-
damn near 100 a year.
yeah, and then gunshot victims, you knew Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, man, you were going to
Yeah.
have at least 8 to 15, maybe 20 gunshot victims, you know? Um,
Yeah, it's like it's funny, we remember all the homicides, but there's thousands more gunshot victims that survived that don't get talked about because they survived.
right, right. The guys in the wheelchairs, that have gotten shot, um, and the other gang members or even other people that have gotten shot and lost limbs. You see them out there. They were subject of gang warfare. And
I got a story to tell you about a guy in a wheelchair.
go ahead.
This is at the Long Beach Motel.
Down there near Greenleaf. Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was riding with Nene that night.
Oh, nya,
Yeah. And
nya.
we're around the
Oh
corner.
God.
We're right there at Greenleaf in Long Beach when the call comes out, right?
Right,
So
right.
we put out 97 right away and get out the car, and I'm walking down the driveway,
Mm-hmm.
and I turn the corner and I see some people standing there and just continued along the wall, right?
Right, right.
And Arnie, when I peek around the corner, I don't know if you remember this dude, Featherstone,
No, that doesn't ring a bell.
Long Beach, anyway, down in that area.
Yeah.
Um, Yoke dude. I mean, from the waist up, he was Mr. Olympia, but because he's lived his life in a wheelchair, he had like chicken legs. And this
Oh.
guy thought, "Ha, I've got an easy mark. There's a guy in a wheelchair, and I'm going to rob him." So
Mm-hmm.
little does he know that the dude in the wheelchair is an ex-felon and can still whip his ass. Takes the gun from him. Of course, he falls out of the wheelchair during the fight, and then shoots the guy in the shoulder, in the left
Wow.
shoulder.
Right.
As I'm turning the corner, I'm less than 3 feet from him. and I've got my 45 drawn down right on his head, man. And I'm looking at the gun in his hand. It's a revolver. And like in the movies, that slow motion shit when everything is like really going super slow.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Yeah,
it was just like that. I was watching the hammer slowly come back and watching the cylinder slowly turn. And he turned and looked at me.
right. Wow.
And I'm like, this dude is bought and paid for. He's
Yeah.
mine. And Arnie, just that millimeter of a second, watching the hammer go back in the cylinder, retarding, and him slowly lowering the gun. I sleep well every night knowing I did not take that man's life because he
Wow.
was in reality the victim.
Yeah. I mean, that right there is the education of shoot, don't shoot, and finding, you know, making the right decision at that time. And
Yeah. I
how
wasn't
many?
looking to take anybody's life in Compton.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
right.
no, that was never my mindset ever. And that's not the only justifiable shooting situation I was in. And I never pulled the trigger, not one time when I was working in that city.
Holy cow, man, that's crazy. You know, um, the first I was on about 3.5 months, and Skiles and I got into a shooting. You know, and after that, where else, man? Just I think altogether in my career there, I got into 9 shootings, Gino,
Wow.
and it was remember make knowledge. I don't want to use his real name, but they stuck me with him on swing shift. And,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that was tough, man. And we got into a shooting together, and it was unbelievable. But yeah, that was one of them. That guy, he was too much, man. Um, just and what was another one, man? I shot and killed a guy in the farms, you know,
Yeah.
um, and geez, man, a pursuit ended up in Anna Slime and shot up the car there, you know. Um, yeah, it was just crazy, man. You know, been shot at, yeah, like we've been shot at out
I've been
there.
shot at a couple of times,
Yeah,
but I've never returned fire, which
wow,
is another story. So one time we were in Santa Fe Gardens
yeah,
and we were riding blacked out, working graveyard shift, saw the muzzle flash. And of course I was riding, keeping the books that night. And
yeah.
my partner, the cool dog, man, we just got beat feet out of there, man. See ya.
No, he didn't. Oh man, crazy.
Yeah. So that was one time we got shot at.
Oh boy, we remember 700 West Laurel.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a war zone in there,
Yes.
and then Park Village next to it, you
Yep.
know, Park Village, Compton Crib out there, and
All the Samoans.
yeah, and the Nutties, they
Yep.
were, it was in a farm dog concrete, how me and Brucey Stein, we used to joke around when we driving around the car all night. This is OG Nutty Block Concrete Club. And this is and we just go back and forth, man. So one day we decided to go into Park Village and do a recon in there, man, to see who's slinging and who's out, and because they would always drop guns in there,
Yeah.
So we went through a side gate, and I'm a big guy, man. I mean, 6'3", and I was weighing 275 on the nice side,
Yeah.
a biscuit under 300, and so we went through the side gate, and everybody goes through there, like we're working great, all the guys on graveyard, man, and they all go through the gate because there was a bar missing, so you got to fit right through.
Yep.
So I was the last one to go. And, I get stuck. I get stuck in between the bars, and Brucey is pulling me through, and we're laughing. I'm laughing, He said, "Motherfucker, you gotta lose some weight, man." I say that. When you got a wife that cooks well and takes care of you, it's hard, dude. It's hard. And then at that time, you got the only way you go to sleep, man, was with a couple of Jack Daniels, Bacardi and Coke, and beer. I did, and we had a terrible diet, right? You're working graveyard, you got subpoenas all week to go to court from 8:30 to whenever you got out of there, and then my days off at that time, since I was a rookie, low on the totem pole, Tuesdays and Wednesdays on graveyard,
right?
So you were in court those days on your days off, and that's a lot of people don't understand. But yeah, man, and I remember running around in there, and hooking and booking some guys with guns and dope. They were dropping dope and slinging, and then 700 West Laurel was the same way, man. It was crazy. Oh, remember 210 East Johnson, the water?
Yep.
That was another location, man. So on Chata, you remember Chata?
Yep.
The Mexican broad.
Yep.
She was slinging, man.
Me and the Cool Dog, we started doing this thing on K Street, because K Street in Long Beach,
1900 block. Yeah,
terrible, man. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we squashed that. We
that was getting bad. That was getting out of hand.
It was. We went around to the street, just what street? Just south or north? I forget my directions now. It's been so long. But going away from Rosecrans. So Rosecrans, K, and then what's the next one?
Man, I couldn't tell you.
So whatever that street was.
Yeah, Ma Piru area and that Bradfield.
Yeah.
Area.
We so just to thinking, we're going to beat the defense attorneys on this one before we even get started, right?
Right.
We knocked on the door to that house and talked to the owner and asked permission if we could use his property to hop the fence and sneak up on the dudes on K Street. Because, like when you pulled up, they'd always run in the back, right?
Yeah, even if you went blacked out.
You'd never catch anybody. So the first time we did that shit, man, we got his approval, wrote his name down in our books and shit, made the call, said, come on back to K Street. And I think it was Brennan and Ladd, man, that turned the corner and everybody started running and didn't know what to do. And they saw me and the Cool Dog back there, pointing guns at everybody. We got so much dope that night.
Oh, sweet. That's
did that
the way
a few times. Yeah. And then started doing that over on Bennett, because it was getting bad over there on Bennett Street. Yeah. So that was our tactic, how we combated that.
What were they called up there? The Mexican dudes. Man, what was it? One street
13 or something 13.
One street north of Compton, near Acacia.
Yeah.
Remember that? Was that it? Compton Valley Tortilla Flats.
Yeah. Tony Baloney was over there.
Yes. Yeah, man. It was, those guys are slinging it. And, I couldn't believe it, man. When you start learning where they're hiding their dope, and, they had it up in their gums, down in their, lips, and it's just stupid. man, of class or underneath their, their, privates there. And then I remember ABC,
Yep.
Anthony, these guys were singing. We caught him in the back alleyway, and the idiot, he, he's he wanted to try and start chewing the cocaine and swallowing it, you know. So
Yeah.
we're kind of choking him out, to spit it out,
Yep.
spit this crap out because you did not want to spend the next 8 hours at Killer King,
Or downtown on the 13th floor.
You're right. Yeah, man. Screw that. And you're trying to spit it out, and Anthony's going nuts, man. And this guy's, foaming at the mouth. And sure enough, man, there we go. We had to go to MLK all night,
Yep.
and they, pumped his stomach and all that, And I think they got smart after that, not to be, hell, just go to jail, man. You'll be out the next morning,
I remember the
Quite the
first time
case.
we found this dude. I remember his name too, Anthony Clark. And he would was squirming in the back seat, and I'm like, what is this dude doing back here, right? But you always take the back seat out after every arrest anyway to make sure nobody's stashing shit, right?
Right.
Man, this dude had bags of cocaine stuff up his asshole, and we bloody bags of plastic bags on the outside with cocaine on the inside. Like,
oh no!
Touch this shit and book it in evidence, you motherfucker!
Oh, it stank! It stank! Oh my gosh! But stupid me sometimes. I know. And what I would do is I would ask the guys like you, hey man, let me book your evidence. Let me book your evidence. Yeah, sure, go ahead, Arnie.
Yep.
And I book because I want the subpoena. I want the subpoena, man. I want to go to, testify.
Yeah.
And oh my God, yeah. And stunk, man. And the guys tell him, put your gloves on before you touch anything.
Yep.
It was just unbelievable,
man. Man, dude, there's so many more stories, man. So many more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to probably cut this short and then work on again getting your camera to work so we can see you. And hey man, it'd be great to see a face with with the voice.
Definitely, man. Definitely.
But is there anything you want to leave us with, Gino? Shout out to your channel.
Well, you talk about the just for the listeners who are interested and want to hear more stories, you talk about the mass exodus.
Right.
My story on how I left Compton is, Steven Spielberg ought to be listening to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real. For real. This is treachery going all the way up to the corner pocket.
You're right.
For real.
Yeah.
But so and a lot of it, Black Jesus has a lot to do with it.
Yeah, man. And one of my recordings is called Black Jesus, but we got to get into him too.
Yeah.
The way you left, or the way you were forced out, the way I was forced out, and a book was written recently, and guys are old friends of mine are telling me, hey Arnie, when are you going to come out? And I'm going to give it time. It's just what had happened was totally wrong.
Definitely.
And it was just and I'll explain, but it's gonna take some time. I put it all together because when it first came out, I was angry like you. Get angry at the situation, but then Gino, we've been gone for over 20 something years, man. And the stories I got behind this writer, how terrible and unrighteous this guy was and still is, and you just, and all of the, Black Jesus, corner pocket, certain
Apple
people
Head.
that kind of ran that department, because if you weren't on their team, you got shitty end of the stick, you
Yeah.
know, and um, and if you know, there are a lot of things I saw, you know, that I still got to put down on recording, like yourself, to clear our names, you know, and to say, hey, you know, this is the right story. It's not, you know, what you're reading in a book or what you're hearing from other people, because, you know, there's two sides to each story.
Yeah.
And uh, hell, I talked to Eric the other day. Eric was, you know, shaking his head too, like, you know, fuck that motherfucker, you know. And yeah, you know, he's just, you know, and Eric was, you know, is a good friend of mine. You
Yeah.
know, Action Jackson, you know, same thing. And the guy, you know, who I think you could agree to this, who we really loved there, man, was JJ. JJ
Man,
was the
he
guy.
he
You know,
was the Compton Police Department.
he was the OG Compton Cop.
Yeah.
That was the dude, you know, and much respect. Rest in
Yes.
peace, JJ. And,
Yeah.
you know, Jasper Jericho Jackson, just an awesome man. You know, looked like and sounded like Mr. T. You
Yep.
know, and
But
we gotta,
jovial, man. Jovial, Santa Claus jovial when you knew that
yes,
dude.
always in a good mood. And you know how many times he got screwed there, poor guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
and because he just wasn't on. He was a righteous man.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he did. You know, he was a, you know, great man. Um, and you know, we got to do a whole recording on him. You know, and but yeah, man, you know, I want people to go to my buddy Gino's channel, Hanging with Uncle, and we're going to try to get some more coppers out there, and
Yeah.
or you know that want to join us, um, and you know, give me a call, contact me on my email address, or Gino on his YouTube channel, and we'll get you on, man. You know,
So yeah, I know hopefully we got a few minutes. I'll tell you just a little
yeah,
bit about, kind of what we do on the channel. I know you threw it out there earlier.
go ahead, man.
So my buddy Zane, who does the show with me, is 29 years old. He works with disabled adults,
Mm,
works 40 hours a week, does something that is necessary, you
right,
know, because if you have, say, a child with Down syndrome or autism, who's going to raise them after you're gone? So, I mean, he
right.
works with adults like that,
Wow,
doesn't get paid a living wage. So we covered the show, current events through the perspective of the people who nobody cares about. And teach you how to improve the quality of your life, like adopting the philosophy of paying yourself,
there you
which we
go.
we go into, uplifting things, how you can
Yeah,
improve the quality of life, why it's important to pay attention to what goes on,
right.
because that's how you know where to put your money or where not to put your money. You got to pay attention to current events. Politics, you may not be concerned about it, but it's concerned about you.
Yes, there's a big, right now the current events are just, dismal, and I think our channels are gonna, well, your channel especially, lights it up, gets you to think, make the right decisions. My channel, come and listen to a story, laugh, cry, and or get angry. And I hope you don't. I don't want you to get angry. I just want you to say, "Damn,"
Right.
that that really happened. Yeah, it really did.
Man,
And
we've seen the tip of the iceberg from far away. We've only seen the tip of the iceberg.
yes, yes, but again, go to my buddy's channel here and check it out. And my channel, like and subscribe on both channels. We need your help to get through this. And of course, just like anybody else, we all want to get some greenies, So let's help us out. The other thing I want to leave you guys with is, there's some cursing on this channel, and I can't control it. I have to, but we're just expressing our, time. And but again, we only have one shepherd, and that leads us in the right direction. So keep your focus on him. And a few things that'll get you through life. And we got to start loving all people, like you just said. Some of those people need our help. They need our money. They need our assistance.
Yeah.
So start out small. You never know what people are going through. So treat people with respect. And be kind.
Golden rule.
Yes. And when you're at a restaurant, push your chair in after you get done eating. There might be a person that can't get by that's handicapped or something. Help them out. Two, put your cart back in the dang stall at a market.
Thank you.
Be kind. And number three, use your damn turn signals, when you're going to turn on the street.
That's the Holy Trinity, brother.
Yeah, there you go. The Holy Trinity. That's great. Those are the three. I love it. You see, you came up with it, Gino. There you go. The Holy Trinity. Just do those things. Start off small. And if you got any questions, shoot me an email. I'm going to start answering my the comments that people leave me. I just been a lot of. I did some moving. I did, some other things, and got sick for a bit, but I'm doing well now. And we're gonna get Gino's camera working so that you can again, put a face with a name, and we're gonna start rocking. We're gonna start rocking this channel and Gino's channel. All right.
I do have a face made for radio.
A face only a mother can love. But hey, Gino, good hanging out with you, man. All right, Theo. And you take it easy, and we'll talk soon. And God bless you guys, man. Love you.